You are welcome to Literature Hub 247, a free online literature class where the art and science of literature are discussed. If you are new on this channel, try and click on the subscribe button and the bell icon. This gives you access to all our videos, and you are going to be notified whenever any video is produced. This particular video is about an African play titled Let Me Die Alone. We are going to discuss the 2023 WAEC questions on Let Me Die Alone. But before we do that, I want to recommend that you watch one of my videos titled How to Answer Literature and English Questions in WAEC and NECO. You need to watch the video because of the explanation in that video. In the video, I explain the new dimensions that have just been introduced by WAEC in answering questions, in answering literature questions in the exams. So that is why it is very important for you to watch that video so that you understand what we are going to discuss in this class. Just send to the message box that I'll send you the link to how to answer literature and English questions in WAEC and NECO. So you send that through the message box and I will do that. Let's go into the classroom. The first question says, consider Lamboy and Musa as conspirators in Let Me Die Alone. The first thing to do as usual is relation to theme. That is, you relate the question to the theme of the play. The main theme of the play is the internal struggle for power and external aggression by the representatives of the colonial government. Banya, the head of the kingdom, faces opposition from Amboy, who conspires with Musa to kill him and take over Mende. Musa does this so that Banya will not hand over to Yoko, his wife, that is, so that Banya will not hand over the chiefdom to his wife, to Yoko, his wife. The plan failed and they continued their evil plans against Yoko also when she took over from her husband. Now, character identification. So this tells us that we are going to identify the characters that are mentioned in the question. Any question given to you and we have some characters mentioned there, you must identify the characters. Lamboy is Yoko's brother and a brother-in-law to Banya. He is a respected warrior in Mende land, a friend of Musa, and a prominent member of the Poro secret society. He is the bone of contention in the play as he is desperate to become the chief. Musa is the seer and a messy man in Mende land. He is a close friend of Lamboy who is blackmailed to join his evil plans. Lamboy is able to win him to his side because he has skeletons in his cupboard. He killed 2 children for rituals in the past. So that is why he is able to be blackmailed. Lamboy and Musa plans to kill Banya. That is the next stage. Lamboy, who has the ambition to rule Mende land, feels that Banya has grown old and will soon die. He hatches the plan to kill Banya before Yoko, Banya's wife, is handed over to. So he doesn't want Banya to hand over the chiefdom to his wife. That is why he is planning to kill him. He conspires with Musa, who initially feels reluctant to join him until he is blackmailed because of the skeleton in his cupboard. They plan to poison him and seize the opportunity of his sickness to poison him. The sickness is the outcome of the beating Banya received from Governor Ruwe. They are able to hatch their plan because of his sickness, which is as a result of the punishment he received from Governor Ruwe. That is why they are able to. That gives them the opportunity to poison Banya. Banya discovers their plans and hands over the chiefdom to Yoko before he dies. Yoko then becomes the queen of Mende land. Lamboy and Musa plot to defame and disgrace Yoko. When they see that their plan failed on Banya, they are not planning another strategy on Yoko when he becomes the head of Mendeland. Now, despite the ascension of Yoko as the head of Mendeland, they don't stop their plans. They plan to defame and disgrace Yoko. They plan to kidnap Geneva, Ndapi's daughter, who is in custody of Yoko. They know that everybody loves the girl and Yoko can be put into problems through her. So they plan to use Geneva. They kidnap the young girl because they know that everybody loves her. And if she's missing, they know that Yoko is going to be put into a serious problem. They kidnap the little girl and kill her. They then remove some parts of her body, bury her in the forest to appear as a ritual killing. They afterwards spread the rumor that Yoko had a hand in her death. This exposes Yoko to undue embarrassment. Ndapi slaps her, and the Sunday dancers sing derogatory songs about her. Now, the next is the consequences of the conspirators' failure. That is the result of their failure. Eventually, Yoko is no longer respected among her subjects. Geneva's mutilated body is later discovered in the forest, and Lamboy and Musa are exposed as the culprits. When they see that they have been found out, they leave the town and go on exile. Yoko, out of the persecution she suffered, she poisons herself and dies childless. So that's how Yoko also died, because of the frustrations she suffered from various angles. That is the first question. Now the second question. Discuss the use of foreshadow and soliloquy in Let Me Die Alone. Discuss the use of foreshadow and soliloquy in Let Me Die Alone. You see that in this question, we have two terms that are mentioned here. So, we are going to define the term, the definition and explanation of these terms. The first thing to do is relation to theme. Any question you are given in literature, you relate it to theme. The main theme of the play is the internal struggle for power and external aggression by the representatives of the colonial government. Now, definition, explanation of foreshadow and soliloquy. Soliloquy is a dramatic technique where a character expresses out his feelings or thoughts in the absence of other characters, while foreshadow is a dramatic technique where certain events are earlier mentioned in the play and come to pass later in the play. So, you cite instances of the use of soliloquy in the play. Yoko's statement after the death of Banya alone on stage is a soliloquy. She says that she's ready for pain and pleas, for honor and distress. Let me take that one again. That she's ready for pain and peace. That's supposed to be peace. Sorry for that. Let me take that one again. She says that she's ready for pain and peace, for honor and distress, for loyalty and treachery, for peace. When Yoko travels out of the chiefdom, that she entrusts the power to Lamboy for some days, Lamboy soliloquies. Now let's now quote him. I've started walking towards the throne now of power, and there's no turning back. First, it was Banya, now Geneva. Next, maybe Yoko herself. The next thing is instances of the use of foreshadow in the play. The instances of foreshadow in the play is where Lamboy says that girls of Geneva's type stand to die in the hands of the enemies of Mende. These foreshadows are being kidnapped and gruesome deaths later in the play. That is one of the instances of foreshadow in the play. Banya's nightmare, which resonates with Yoko's fears that a great calamity will befall the household that day, foreshadows the governor's flogging of Banya. This prepares ground for Lamboy and Musa to perpetrate their evil plans and leads to the death of Banya. The next is significance of the use of foreshadow and soliloquy. Soliloquy projects the behavior and the intentions of the character that are not known to others. Hence, it comes to them as a surprise. Foreshadow prepares the minds of the audience or the readers for the future events and increases their interest in reading further. With the use of foreshadow, what becomes of the characters is unclear. So, the paints in red ink are not part of the answers. They only serve as guides, as set out by WAEC. That is, those writings in red ink, they are not part of the answer. That is, when you answer your own question, you don't need to write relation to team, character identification, division of terms. You don't need to write that. Just answer your question. I just write them there for you to understand the guidelines. That is, the guidelines that you need to follow in answering these questions. So you are free to share any of our videos or any social media platform, and if you have any questions, just send it to the message box. Invite your friends to join us, like the video, and let's meet in the next class.